What up, boxing world? JF Sports. Anyway, Canelo says some things in this article that came out a couple hours ago, and it says um, he wants to fight Golovkin, but it has to be at a 155-pound catch weight. Then I was wrong. I had a video and I made about the a couple nights ago, and I said that whoever wins the Cotto Canelo fight would probably agree to fight Golovkin next, and that the only reason, or the only person that I thought that would probably accept the Golovkin fight with a catchweight was Cotto. I thought that Canelo would just fight Golovkin at 160-pound even. But I guess not. You know what I'm saying? That's his opinion. That's old Canelo Alvarez's opinion, that he wants to fight Golovkin, but he's got to be a 155-pound catchweight. Now, you guys know that Golovkin has also been very vocal about fighting at 160. As a matter of fact, he's being criticized heavily by some boxing fans that Golovkin doesn't want to do catch weights, he's scared and this and that, and and some of you guys are saying that Canelo needs to fight Golovkin at 160. I mean, there's mixed emotions, there's all kinds of reasoning and opinions, but I'm gonna tell you guys what Canelo Alvarez said in this article. Canelo said that, at this moment his body isn't ready for 160, maybe 1 or 2 more years he'll be ready for 160. That's what Canelo said. I'm not knocking him for saying that. That's what he wants to fight, and that should so be it. So are we gonna see a Canelo versus Golovkin, Cotto versus Golovkin? To me right now it's looking unlikely, and I was actually hoping that the fight would happen. So it's one of those catch weight problems again. Man, that sucks. That really sucks. I can see Golovkin fighting Canelo, Golovkin fighting Cotto, whoever wins that fight, or even if one of those guys don't win the fight, they eventually gonna fight probably Golovkin. But it's gonna have some controversies. I can see this happening. I can see there's gonna have some issues, and it's gonna be that much more difficult to make the fight happen because of these catch weights. Now I know you guys. I've seen you guys' comments in my channel and your views as far as the catch weight of 160 and catch weight of 155. I've seen it. I've read it. I'm saying I may not answer all of you guys' comments, or I would actually never have time to, do my own stuff. But I see it. I see all you guys' comments, and I respect your opinions. But I guess I was hyped that much, for lack of a better word. You know what I'm saying? Because I was really hyped on, man, whoever wins the Canelo Cotto fight is definitely going to fight Golovkin. It's like almost a mandatory, as a matter of fact, as some of you guys have said. You know what I'm saying? And I said it too. But that's not how this is looking. To me, it's looking like there's going to be a problem. Yes, we still want to see Cotto and Canelo fight in November. You know what I'm saying? That's coming pretty soon here. And that's going to be an exciting fight, I think. But what's next after that? You know what I mean? So are we going to be fighting a catch weight, or is Golovkin going to compromise and go down and catch weight just to fight one of these guys? I think he should. You know what I'm saying? Who do I think is the true A side in that fight if Golovkin fights Canelo or Golovkin fights Cotto? Who do I really think is going to be in the A side in that fight? To me, if Golovkin, even though he's undefeated and he's got this good record and 21 knockouts in a row, I think Cotto would still be on the A side. They may not make it like that, but if based on fan base and resumes and pay-per-view numbers in the past, yes, I see obviously Cotto being on the A side. Now if Canelo wins that fight and decides to fight Golovkin, now even though I think Golovkin will be on the A side in that fight, but as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of you guys probably would agree, Canelo would probably be on the A side. He probably have the say. You know what I'm saying? Because Canelo's also fan base, Mexico, man, that's a big fan base. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of fans. And as what we see now, especially probably Canelo is aware and his team is aware, and so is Canelo. I mean, so is Cotto and his team are aware. You know, Golovkin Lemieux fight didn't buy that much pay per view. You know what I'm saying? Didn't create that much pay per view numbers. So yes, that's an ammunition for both Canelo and Cotto to say, you know what? I will demand. If he wants a big goddamn payday, he's gonna have to agree with me. And if he doesn't want it, hell, I'll fight somebody else and create probably more than 150,000 buys. And they'll be right. They both, Cotto and Canelo will both be right. You know what I'm saying? So we have some controversy and issue here as far as who Golovkin's next fight gonna be with. But I didn't, like I said, I was blindsided. You know what I mean? I didn't think that it would come out of Canelo's mouth, that thing. But I can see where he's coming from, and I understand, you know, he is somewhat of an A-side here because he's got the fan base, he's got the pay-per-view experience. He's fought, you know what I'm saying, Mayweather. You know, he's created a lot. He's made $10 million before. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's about to make $10 million right now, or what is it, 5, 8? You know, he's about to make that much money now, and he's probably gonna say, you know what? Even if you know what I'm saying, he lost to Cotto, then he would still say, you know what? I still create some numbers. It doesn't fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be demanding this fight, and that's on not only coming from Canelo. Remember now, he's got also De La Hoya on his side. So De La Hoya knows numbers. He's fought, you know what I'm saying, in pay-per-view for a very long time, and he's created some of the biggest pay-per-view in a long time. And as a matter of fact, what is it, top 5 pay-per-view number winners and stars out there is Mayweather, Pacquiao, De La Hoya, Holyfield, and Mike Tyson. Those 5s are the top 5 pay-per-view numbers of all time. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, oh man, I was kind of disappointed, man, to see that. Not because I'm mad or anything like that against Canelo. He has the right to say what he wants to say, you know, being the fan base and the pay-per-view experience and all that stuff. But that thing caught me off guard, man. I was just reading right here while I was eating my dinner, and then I was like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? I was like, what the heck is this? You know, matter of fact, I was like, what the freak is this? And I was like, I expected it from, you know what I'm saying? I expected it from Miguel Cotto to say something like that, you know. But as far as Canelo saying at this moment his body is not ready yet for 160, you know, I thought that I would hear that from Cotto more, you know. And indeed, that is a bad news for boxing, as the article says. I'll put the article in the description so you guys can check him out. I don't see, some people in this article, it says that, you know, whoever wrote this, it said he don't see how Canelo's body isn't ready for 160. And most of us, we all like Canelo, right? You know what I'm saying? Just being honest, we all like Canelo because he's got that good boy look, good image. He's not a trash talker. He's a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a tough guy. He just can't express himself in English, but he is a tough dude. He is what they call goofy. You know what I'm saying? We've seen clips and videos and, you know what I'm saying, 24/7s that, you know, Canelo could be is childish, so to speak. You know, he's still young and it's cool. That's cool. But, you know what I'm saying? I don't see how Canelo can't make 160. You know what I'm saying? Maybe De La Hoya has something to do with that. I don't know. Maybe I don't necessarily think that Canelo's scared of Golovkin. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it could or could not be the case. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said before, my other video a couple nights ago, Canelo don't really have anything to lose. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have anything to lose because even if he loses against Cotto and gets a Golovkin fight and still loses on there, he'd only be 3 losses. You know what I'm saying? What is that? Nothing. Absolutely nothing with his impressive record. Canelo has a very high percentage knockout ratio. And not to mention, he's fought over, 40-some fights? That fucking 3 losses, if he does lose, I'm not saying he is going to lose, but if he does lose to Cotto and Golovkin, if he ever fights him, then what does that make him? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He'll still be a fucking god. He'll still be golden. You know what I'm saying? He'll still be a golden boy in Mexico and the boxing world. You know, he's got that image, man. But in the body frame, in my own opinion, I think Canelo could fairly make 160. You know what I'm saying? But this news that came out, I think it has something to do with the goddamn media, the fucking articles and social media releasing the Golovkin versus Lemieux pay-per-view number buys. It has something to do with it. It has to. I can't think of anything else. You know? Why would Canelo all of a sudden say some stuff like that? Guess what, man? You know, this is where politics and money comes. You know what I'm saying? You know? Because even though the Canelo and Cotto fight has not happened yet, people, we are proactive, man. You know, we are some fucking proactive motherfuckers, and you guys know that, especially the promoters, especially somebody like De La Hoya. You know, we think of what happens next. You know what I'm saying? Just like everybody else that is a hardcore boxing fan, you know, what is next? That's our question. That's our always question. Who is next opponent? What is next for him in this situation? You know, as if you're a casual boxing fan, you live on the current or on the current news. You know what I'm saying? What's going on or what's about to happen. You know what I'm saying? You know, most casual boxing fans would probably like, you know, are anticipating the fight, but they're not really thinking what's next after that. But us, as hardcore boxing fans, if you guys are watching this video, you know damn well you think just like how I think and just like any other hardcore boxing fans out there. What is really next after that? You know, we're anticipating it. We are proactive. You know what I'm saying? We are like, if Canelo wins that fight against Cotto, so who's next? What's going to happen? If Cotto wins that fight against Canelo, is he going to retire? Is he going to fight more? You know what I'm saying? We anticipate and we are proactive. We are some proactive MFs. You know what I'm saying? We know. We can all agree with that. But like I said, it was surprising to me when I read this article, and I thought, I was like, you know what? It's not sadding, or that's not even a word. It's not a sad news, but it's disappointing news. But it could always change. You know, like I said, I put the article in the description. Y'all can read it. Let's see here. The article also says, criticizes and says, as I said earlier, he said, this article says he don't see how Canelo's body isn't ready for 160 yet, and he wants to wait 1 or 2 years. That sounds like, you know, De La Hoya's talking, because if Canelo is rehydrating to 175, then that tells him, or this guy that's writing, or some of you guys boxing fans out there, that tells them that he's more than ready to be fighting at 160, right? Which, that's you know, that's probably true. You know what I'm saying? If you're rehydrating over 175, then, you know what I'm saying, I don't know. I can't remember what Canelo weighed in after he fought Mayweather at 154. Was it 154? Yeah, 154. I can't remember what he weighed in, but I know goddamn well it was over 160. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. It's very tricky to me. You know, news flash to me. It came out a couple hours ago. Again, I put the link in the description. But he wants definitely to fight Golovkin if he wins that fight. He wants to face Golovkin in the future at 155 catchweight. Now, Golovkin is very vocal about that. He said, you know what, there will be no catchweight because it will be a middleweight fight, middleweight title, and it will be at 160. I don't believe in catchweights. That's why Golovkin is also being criticized because, you know what, I'm willing to go down to 154 to fight Mayweather. But I think that that's a different animal. That's a different story we're talking about because you don't always going to get, you know, a Manny Pacquiao or Mayweather fight. You know what I'm saying? So if those guys offering you $4 million, if not more, and tells you, hey man, I'm gonna give you $4 million, but you gotta lose fucking 6 more pounds and, you know, fight me at 154. Shit, I think we've all agreed that we all gotta lose those weight. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm fighting somebody like fucking Paulie Malignaggi. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That I was like, you know what? Or I'm fighting, you know what I'm saying, a bum and say, you know what? You gotta lose weight. No, fuck. How much am I gonna make in this fight? Fucking 500,000. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that kind of motivation. You know. Now Canelo, like I said, I think he understands the game, and he has some very, very good mentor out there. Some of them are fucking snakes that, you know, instilling that in his head that, you know what, man, you will demand. You will be on the A side. You know what I'm saying? Even though you won't be on the A side on the paper, on a paper, but you will have the one to say. If Golovkin wants to fight you, guess what? He's gonna have to compromise. He's gonna have to fight you at 155, where you're good at, where you're comfortable at, not where Golovkin is comfortable at 160. You know, because we all know Golovkin is very comfortable at 160. You know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, it was 30-day weigh-in before the Lemieux fight. He was at 165, man. He was right on target. You know, in a 7-day weigh-in, he's still at 160. You know what I'm saying? He was easy to make weight, easy. It's not like Lemieux that he had a little bit of a hiccup there, a little bit of hard time making weight, but he did make weight on the first try. So shout out to him, even though he had to, you know, be on his birthday soon. But it was cool because he made weight, but he was struggled, and a lot of us are actually criticizing Lemieux because he might have been dehydrated, he wasn't at his best, you know. But we're not gonna make that excuse for Lemieux because Lemieux didn't make that excuse for himself, you know, about the weight. So we're not gonna make that excuse for him. He did what he could, and he lost the fight, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Get a rematch later on, then so be it. But as far as Canelo, because this is like, I think the Canelo Golovkin fight is more, I should say, more exciting and much more anticipated than the Cotto Golovkin, because Cotto, he's old. He's not old like age old. I'm talking about age, old like fighting old, sport of boxing old. You know what I mean? He's got his veteranship, so to speak. He's gonna retire soon, man. You know what I mean? He's fought almost everybody out there. So, he and Cotto is very well accomplished to be able to say, you know what, fuck that. I'm not gonna fight you at 150 or 160. If you want to fight me, I'll fight you at 155. You know what I'm saying? Get this money. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to get that money from you, because I could be fighting somebody and Canelo probably make $1 million. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to break my back to try to make fucking 160, where you're comfortable at, and only make this much money when I can fight a bum and make the same amount of money. You know what I'm saying? So he's not going to do that. I don't see Cotto, agreeing to 160, but if he does, hey, shout out to him and more power to him. But if he doesn't, then so be it. But I thought Canelo, yes, he's got a lot of fights, but still young, he needs to keep fighting. But the way he said it, that his body is not ready for 160, I highly doubt that. And then it sounds like to me it's De La Hoya's talking. That's how it sounds like. Like I said, I don't know the whole truth about the whole thing. I'm sure we'd hear more, as we go on with the Cotto Canelo fight. And especially after the fight, especially if Canelo wins the fight. If Canelo wins the fight against Cotto, guess what? That's like Golovkin talk. You know what I mean? Everybody talk about Golovkin. Okay, man. Canelo was impressive against Cotto. He knocked out Cotto. He beat him. You know what I'm saying? Now, Golovkin. All right, Golovkin, guess what, man? You going to fight Canelo next or what? You scared? You don't want to go down 155? Then Golovkin, if Canelo is impressive and wins against Cotto, especially if it's via knockout, then the boxing fans would be in favor of Canelo. So whatever Canelo says, even though fucking half of the time it's fucking goddamn De La Hoya's fucking talking, you know what I mean? Then people would favor whatever Canelo demands. Whatever comes out of Canelo, we would favor him because he was impressive against Cotto. If that's the case, you know what I'm saying? Then Golovkin would be on like a B side and on the microscope and on the criticisms of all the boxing fans. You know what I'm saying? So, that's very interesting. I thought I'd mention to you guys, so I guess that's it. I mean, that's first hand. That's first looked. We've all anticipating Golovkin Canelo, but I guess not. Let me know what you guys think. Drop me a comment. And as always, thank you for watching.